Alright, hello there ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Game 3 of the Shinhan Pro League Finals from 2007. This is the 2v2 match. That's why you got two guys in each side of the booth there. And this is going to be Jihyun and Cute Boy versus Lomo and Shinhwa. And once we get started in the game, I'll try and get them straight. This is going to be really tough for me to keep straight because there's going to be 4 names instead of 2. And I'm not familiar with many of them, any of them basically. Lomo is the only one who ever kind of made a name for himself at some point. So anyway, so Lomo and Shinhwa are going to be part of Lecaf Oz, and Cute Boy and Jihyun are going to be for Samsung Con. So let's make sure I get their names straight here to begin with. So we're gonna ally with the Samsung players. So I'm gonna try and remember that. Ally with the Samsung players. And so what that means is when they click on their units or buildings, it's going to show up as yellow. So we're going to see that this is the yellow Samsung player. It's going to be Shinhwa, I believe. Yes. And this is going to be the Terran player for Samsung Con, who is going to be Lomo. Alright, and I'm saying this nice and slow to make sure I can try and get it straight as well. And here's the Terran player for Lecaf Oz, Cute Boy. There he is in flesh. And here's the Zerg player for Lecaf Oz, who's going to be Jihyun. So, and so they're kind of in cross positions a little bit, like they're in diagonal positions with their ally. So I'm gonna usually 2v2 matches are quick to get started. So I'm gonna try to be quick about this, but I want to just talk about the 2v2 format real quick. It's interesting that this is kind of a relic. After a while, they actually got rid of the 2v2 match, and I don't think they ever had 2v2 as an element of the GSL or StarCraft 2 league. So it's kind of a relic, basically. It's interesting to see this kind of match, and it's something that you don't almost ever see well-known players playing in the 2v2 match. It's usually kind of the B teamers would end up on the 2v2 team because it was just not as interesting. Not as interesting. It's not as I don't know. It was more specialized. So if you're really good at 1v1 matches, you're playing in tournaments, you want to be practicing 1v1s. You don't want to be practicing 2v2s because it's a completely different format, right? Things are just completely different. So yeah. Oh, right. That's right. Kind of remembering this map too. You've got this mineral patch at the ramp, and you can try and glitch things through, but you actually have to mine out the minerals to get down your ramp, basically. And so it's good for a 2v2 map because then it's protected. Otherwise, if you had a 2v2 match and you just had double floor pool, you would just kill one of the other guys instantly, right? So it would just be unfair. So it's a nice little element to have that block to protect against super rushes there. Now 2v2 format is though still a very, very quick format, because if you try and macro up, 2 versus 1 is going to get you while one person's defending and you lose. So it's very, very quick style play. Anyway, so just real quick though, to get back on that point and finish it, the 2v2 players were never really the biggest names, but they were usually specialists, right? It was usually the same players would play your 2v2 game every single week or every other week or something like that. So you had kind of players that were like 2v2 specialists, and they would play every single time. So in any case, here we have an actual neutral building instead of minerals on another ramp to get into the base. And so we're going to see them try and have to slowly kill that off. 250 hit points, it looks like, on that little neutral building to get out. So anyway, just hopefully that's enough of a background here on the 2v2 match, because we are seeing that these players are starting to move out onto the map, and we're going to see some action here pretty quick. I just wanted to comment real quick, though, that Lomo, who I mentioned before, is kind of the only one of these 4 players that really has any name recognition to me. He, I think, got into some round of 16s at some point. So there was a point where Lomo was actually considered to be, a pretty decent player. And I believe he would also play 1v1s in the Pro League as well. So, he's probably just by name recognition alone and not by any measure of their skill at this time or anything like that, I'm going to say Lomo probably kind of having a little bit of an advantage here. And again, I'm just going to try and keep them straight here, but I actually don't know the Korean names, so I've forgotten who's whom already. Sorry. Wait, let's see. Oh, a vulture goes down. That is pretty bad, and we're actually seeing an attack here. We're seeing the Khan team, let's see, Lecaf Oz is the yellow Zerg and the purple Terran. So Oz is attacking over here against the Khan Terran player, blocking with some SCVs. The Marines are already up the ramp, and the Zerglings have pushed through as well. He's got one Vulture out. But they're speed upgraded Zerglings. He surrounds one of the Vultures. No, the Vulture gets out, but then he re-surrounds it, and he's just going to corner him, and the Marines are going to pick off these Vultures. Now, we do see reinforcements heading up, though, right now, but this is really, really looking bad. This could be a very quick game over in a hurry, and the factory is under attack, and that's all it takes in a 2v2 match is just two players attacking one at the same time and a timing, and it looks like he's microing ferociously with these Vultures, though, and now the Marines are picking off the Vultures, though. It's just a perfect combination. The Marines picking off the Vultures, the Zerglings doing the main damage, but Mutalisks are out. That is why he was not reinforcing. He was going for the tech units, and if those Mutalisks can pick off just a couple, and he knows it's coming, he's trying to build the Evo Chamber and the colony so he can build a Spore for this counterattack, but right now those Mutalisks reign supreme. The evolution chamber isn't even completed yet. He can't even build any spores. Those drones are just dying. I was wondering why Red wasn't helping out at all, but it's because he was just teching up. And so now we're seeing this one chance if he can do enough damage. And he's killed off. Oh my gosh. He's killed off all of the drones. And he doesn't even have the money to build spores. Okay, he's making one spore. I think he may only have enough money for a spore or a drone, and he was trying to save it. And he's going to lose that spore colony before it can finish. He's going to have to cancel it. Zergling's still running rampant, but the Vultures are slowly picking them off eventually. What is the SCV count? He lost a lot of SCVs. He's now floating the command center away, which means there's no SCVs left. We basically have a crippled Terran for Samsung, and we have a crippled Zerg for Oz. So we have even things up right now. He's lost those Zerglings as well. The command center is now burning, and he picks off the Marine. Does he have enough money in the bank? I'm sure he saved up enough money in the bank to build an SCV so he can repair that command center so he can try and rebuild basically from scratch. He needs to do more damage with those Mutalisks, though. Oh, he actually hit an SCV that's going to run back, but even give some minerals over. Nice. Nice. That's the classic 2v2 strat. Whenever you're playing 2v2, or I actually play a lot with Diggity, we play 2v6 computers just to have fun. And when one of us dies, it's like, run to me, get an SCV out. That's all you need. Get one SCV out so you can rebuild. And did his SCV die? Oh, their one Zergling snuck back and killed the SCV. Oh no, the SCV is still alive. Where was it? Don't know what happened there. 3 more Zerglings coming in, though. Somehow he's managed. He must have built another drone in the background after those Mutalisks left. The red Zerg, I've given up completely on the names. I'm so sorry. It's just too hard to keep track of 4 names I don't know. The red Zerg, who's the Samsung player, is just maintaining map control and has an expansion base as well. Oh no, he's gonna have to lift to try and save, and he has one Vulture to protect. And oh, that's clever. He's hiding the SCVs underneath the permanent disruption web that's a part of the map, so that way if the Zerglings are underneath the disruption web, they can't attack because they've been neutered basically. And actually, he's gone back and killed off the last of the drones for the yellow Zerg player. So yeah, we do have a basically crippled Zerg, and we have an almost crippled Terran. He can rebuild, but it's going to be a while before the blue Terran could do much besides maybe make 1 or 2 more Vultures, basically. So Red Zerg has a lot of map control here. He's got a group of medic Marines, though, and he's trying to fend off these Marines. This might be a mistake, but if he can kill off these medic Marines, then he could just win the game, basically, and that's exactly what he's done. There is a bunker there. No, he needs to fall back to the bunker. He can't engage without the firepower of a bunker or a turret there, or else they just lose the game. But those mutas are just going to be able to just micro against and pick off these barracks. And so the Lecaf Oz Terran player is now losing all of his stuff. He has built a sizable force of Marines. It was kind of crucial he lost those Marines on the bottom of the ramp. I think he needed to keep those up on top and just had them in the wrong place at the wrong time. The mutas were able to polish them off, and now he's going to lose these barracks. Just not enough turret protection, bunker not in the right place to protect the barracks, and he can lift them up and float them away, I guess, if he wants to. And he's finally going to do that with one of his barracks, building another barracks over on the side here to replace it. But I don't know if this is enough. He's got a starport building, This is just too late. Too late to attack. Now our red Zerg has 2 groups of Mutalisks. And oh, look at this. Yellow Zerg has got a Spire as well, actually. Oh, wow. But just no money to actually do much with it. He's basically used all of his money to try and tech up a little bit. And maybe for Scourge, actually landing single Scourge hits on each of the Mutalisks will soften them up really, really well from Marine. So that's a way that maybe having no money could still help him out. But there's just so many Mutalisks. So many Mutalisks. He's got like at least 18 Mutalisks there. Possibly as close to 24 at this point. I think it's just over for the Lecaf team. Here he goes in. He's all in now. Well, maybe not all in, but he's going for a major attack with all these Mutalisks. Just he says, I have too many Mutalisks for you to deal with. I don't care if you have Marines and towers and everything, and he's just taking them out really, really easily. That one Marine stims and runs into the bunker, but it's just going to be too little too late. He's going to try and repair the bunker with everything, but it goes down. The bunker goes down, and with it, the chances of Oz in this game, I think this is over. We're going to see them tap out here pretty soon because this purple Terran was the only one that had any chance of getting him back in the game. Zerg has like 2 or 3 drones at this point. Vulture's joining in the mix as well. Oh, the Manor Hatchery! The Manor Hatchery! Building a hatchery in the main base! Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that is really, really awesome. So, wow, these Mutalisks are just polishing this up. He's literally building a hatchery in his base. He's letting it build. He's not leaving. Get out the game, guys. It's too late. I don't know what they're waiting for here. And never going to see the GG. A very quick game. I have to say, I actually thought for a second there, because they weren't showing the Zerg's base. And so I just saw like 2v1. And the Samsung Terran just getting destroyed, just absolutely destroyed by Zerglings and Marines, and there was just seemed nothing to do about it. And I was thinking in the back of my mind, like, why is he not helping? I don't see anything on the minimap moving to help. What is going on? Why is he not doing anything to help his partner out? And then all of a sudden, Mutalisks, and the Mutalisks won the game, pretty concise, not concisely, but pretty well. The word I'm looking for is escaping me right now, but they did good. Mutalisk good. Ground units bad versus Mutalisk. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy that. I think I am going to move on right into game number 4. So I think I'm going to do games 3 and 4 as part 2, and then the last 1 to 3 games, I guess. There's got to be a minimum of 5, right? So it could be 1 more game. It could be 3 more games. I'll do as part 3 of this series, and so I will do some anti-spoiler stuff at the end of that if it goes to like a game 7, or if it doesn't, it's still gonna be a long video. So let me know if you guys have any preferences about what you want the filler to be, actually, because I've got more kitten videos and I've got random other stuff I could throw in there. I don't know, we'll see. Or it could just be emptiness, or I could ramble about other topics if you want. Let me know what you think, and probably it'll go to game 7 and it won't even matter. And I say that without actually knowing, because I actually found these VODs on an old DVD, and they're in folders. So I don't even know how many games there are, because there's 7 folders and some of them might be empty. I don't know. I haven't opened them yet. So anyway, let's get into game number 4 with Lecaf Oz versus Samsung Han. Alright, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I guess I shouldn't say hello, because I am planning on just meshing this up alongside the previous game. But hello again. I can still say hello, I guess. This is game 4, and real quick apology. I don't know if it was audible or not, but I guess my headphones were high enough in volume that it was picking up on my microphone in the last game. And I listened to a bit, it wasn't super noticeable, so I'm just going to leave it be rather than try and re-record it. But apologies if that was bothering anyone. I think I fixed it for this one. In any case, this is game 4. This is between Stork and Anytime, and I'm really looking forward to this game. This is going to be amazing. Stork is not quite, at the level yet. This is 2007. He's just started winning stuff. He's going to be the purple Protoss, though. We want to make sure we note that before things get too far into it. At the left side of the map. And, so Stork, probably one of the top 2 or 3 PvP players of all time. I mean, he's just so good at PvP. I mean, he's so good at PvE everything, basically. But, just really good at PvP. And I mentioned that specifically because I want to talk about Anytime for a minute as well. Anytime is, at this point in time, this is 2007, he actually, he was known as the Death God Protoss. And that's because in 2005, he kind of took the scene by storm, and he was a Royal Roader, which means that his very first time in the OSL, he won it. And he didn't just win it easily. He beat the 2 top players, or 2 of the top players at the time, which I believe he beat Uve and Boxer to win that finals. And it was a shock to everyone. And then he came back and won the next OSL as well. That was in 2005. So this is a couple years later. I think he only got 1 silver in the intervening years. But point being, when he's really on top of his game, Anytime is really top level Protoss, and he is actually one of the reasons why the Legend of the Fall, which came about, which is this sort of running, I don't know what you call it, not joke, but like a superstition, I guess, that Protoss only perform well in tournaments in the fall because he you know, did really well and won the tournament in the fall and then slumped for a while and then came back and did well in the fall and then slumped for a while again. So, and we did see that somewhat in with some other Protoss players over the years. But anyways, by the way, we do have 2-gate play. This is on a map called Katrina, which is named so because it's got a swirling pattern like a hurricane, which is a little insensitive if you think about it, actually. But anyway, so we're gonna have Anytime at the top right. He's going for a 2 gateway play, and that's interesting because this map, you have a long stretch at where your base is, and there's an expansion that you can protect with just 1 ramp, basically, to protect both of them. On both your base and your expansion are on the high ground. So going for 2-gate play is a little bit interesting. We're seeing some cheeky stuff here, just with this probe dancing around. And so Anytime going for a quick build, but there are 4 spawn points, and Stork has luckily scouted him very quickly. Real quick, I want to finish this point before I forget it. The reason I mentioned the PvP thing is because most of the top players that Anytime beat when he was winning those OSLs were Terrans and a couple Zergs. So PvP not necessarily his strongest suit, but he is obviously a very capable Protoss player anyway. So it could go either way. And remember, this is a best of 7. So you need 4 wins to win the series, basically, win the championship. The championship is on the line here. And Khan is up by, I'm sorry. Trying to Song Byung-gu is the Protoss at 9. Yes. So Samsung Khan is down a game basically in the series. Lecaf is up 2-1. So if Anytime can pull this off and get a win, and he's trying to take this expansion. He's trying to block the expansion though. He's built 2 gateways, but he's been found out, and so he's like, okay, well I'm just gonna econ instead here. I do seem to remember there were a lot of 2-gate plays on this map, actually. That might have been a thing, but again, it's been 13 years, so I don't remember too specifically. He does get the Nexus down there, but a nice delay, so Stork is actually going to have half of a Nexus worth of advantage as far as getting his down earlier, so pretty big deal. Stork has got a much better econ here. He got his Nexus down earlier. He didn't get the second gateway as early, I don't believe, unless I haven't seen his base, but he might have gotten it in response to seeing 2 gateways. Let's see here. He's only got 3 zealots. Okay, he did get a second gateway. Never mind. So, but anyway, he's still going to be a little bit ahead on econ. Also, we did see that Anytime kind of had to move his probes around a little bit and was a little bit distracted by the scouting probe. So Stork is kind of a little bit of advantage coming in here. And Anytime is just going to go ahead and double check back here and just say, okay, you've got a Nexus. Good to know. Just making sure you're not doing anything cheesy. And I don't have to worry about a super mega attack right now with a bunch of units that I wasn't expecting or anything like that. Cybernetics core going down for both players as well. But in any case, yeah, I am favoring Stork here, just in terms of just the raw power of these guys and the fact that Stork is more in his prime right now, or approaching his prime, whereas Anytime is a little bit out of his prime. That being said, Anytime, super solid player over the years. He actually even went into, if I remember correctly, he went into the military and served his 2 years in the military, and then came back out, and then after playing for Air Force Ace, he came back out and then became a coach for Oz. So just a really long-term personality in the scene, basically, and he was able to keep his skills up in Air Force and do pretty well. He was actually one of the better Air Force players at the time, which is Not saying a lot, because the Air Force team was kind of mostly players that didn't have time to practice, that were a little bit washed up, and it was kind of like a show match team, but that's okay. We still love them. I still love them. Don't say anything bad about Air Force 8s. They were awesome. And I maybe only say that because there was like a couple key players that I like really loved, were able to stay in the scene as a result, like Boxer was on Air Force Ace. I believe Firebat Hero was on Air Force Ace. Anyway, so good times. Air Force Ace, which I believe is a team that didn't exist at this point in time in 2007. So, in any case, pretty standard stuff here going on. Neither player doing anything too interesting at the moment, just building up their tech. And that's what we're going to see, where we might see a difference in tech going on. We see the robotics facilities going down for both players, and that's where we're going to see, okay, is one going to go for observers and go into a Templar tech, or are they both going to go Reavers? Are we going to see some Reaver Shuttle versus Reaver Shuttle Micro? Are we going to see, you know, attempts at Reaver drops? We're going to see attempts at Storm drops, and that's what we're going to have to find out in the next few minutes after these robos finish. Basically, we're going to see what choices they make. But again, both players just getting down a third gateway. All right, here we go. Here's the building, fourth gateway. Are we seeing any kind of robo tech? Nothing yet. Just Dragoon range. Okay. Over on Stork's end, just 4 gateways. Okay. Fair enough. Nothing interesting going on yet. There we go. There we go. Citadel of a Dune. And Stork's got a couple probes that aren't mining at the bottom there. I don't know if you realize that. Oh, no, never mind. They are. They were just stacked on top of that one mineral patch, so I thought they were not doing anything. Oh, crap. I just missed what those 2 other buildings were. Okay, so here we go. This is what I was talking about. We might see a differentiation in their builds once we got to this tech point, and we are seeing that, in fact. We're seeing Stork go for the Templar play, and we're seeing Anytime go for the Reaver play. And so this is going to be interesting. I feel like this is going to be a little bit of an advantage for Anytime because he's going to have his stuff out sooner. You know, if Stork is going all the way to Templars, it's going to be a long time before, well, it'll be not that long before the Dark Templars are out. And you can see he's actually, oh, Stork has a support bay also. And, okay, so maybe he's not going for Templar. He may just be going for Zealot legs, or just trying to anticipate what's going on and make sure he's matching. I don't know exactly what's going on here. We do have an observatory for Anytime as well. So I'm not exactly sure what either player's doing. We're just going to have to see if he builds that Templar Archives or not, because he's built the Robo support bay as well. In which case, I'm not sure what the Citadel is doing. You usually don't need Zealot speed upgrade at this point against PvP. And actually, we're going to see a big engagement here. Stork needs to micro his Dragoons back, and Reaver is out for Anytime. He's going to get the first Scarab off. Where's that Scarab? And he actually attacks. I don't know if that landed. It did land. The shields have been taken off here, but there's just too many forces for Stork pushing through here. Can he get the Reaver shuttle micro down, though? Dragoons can obviously kite back, and he can use the Reaver to protect by attacking the other Reaver. If he can get there's what I was going to say. If he can get a Scarab shot off on the Zealots, then he's going to take advantage. And actually, this could end very quickly if right now the only thing Stork has going for him is he does have his own, I think he still has that Reaver and Shuttle. Did he lose it and I missed it? I'm so sorry if I did, because I don't know where that Reaver is right now. He should be using it in this fight right now, and it's possible that the Dragoons picked it off and I missed it. But he's just fighting with Zealots, but the Zealots are going to be no match for the Reaver. He just needs to drop out the Reaver behind and get some Scarab shots off, and those Zealots are going to go down very quickly, and he's just running the Zealots away. He knows one Scarab is going to just kill off his entire force. There's that shuttle. The shuttle is there. Maybe the Reaver was picked off by the Dragoons, but not the shuttle, so he does still have the shuttle. And there the Reaver is almost dead. He picks it up in the shuttle, though. That Reaver is so close to death. If Stork can somehow take out that Reaver, if he can take out that Reaver, he can hold himself in this game and get back in it in a longer game. And I think Anytime realizes that he's in a little bit of trouble. He's done some damage. He doesn't want to push his luck. He's going to fall back a little bit and regroup. He may continue attacking, but he's going to regroup at least before going in for the kill. Another Reaver crawling slowly across the map. He's going to be able to take a moment to run that shuttle back and pick that Reaver up. But, wow, Anytime pushing very, very far into the base, and you can see there's that ramp. It's a broad ramp, but it is protecting his main base, and his expansion is behind it, so it makes it a little bit easier there. Observer's in play. Oh, is he going to try and snipe that Reaver? He can just run up. He's got the Observer overhead. He can run up and try and snipe that Reaver. He's going to drop out his own Reavers. 2 Scarabs! Oh, no! Oh, 2 Scarabs left. He kills off Stork's Reaver! He kills off Stork's Reaver in 2 shots, and this is catastrophic for Stork. I didn't see if he lost one of the Reavers there, but now Stork has no defenses. He didn't have the shuttle nearby to protect that Reaver. He's got another Reaver behind, but it's running up too close. It's going to get a Scarab off and try and run away, but it may have gotten too close. Is he going to be able to pick off that Reaver? No. The Dragoons are too strong. He's going to force him back again. Reinforcements coming in just close on the heels of that shuttle, and this is looking very grim for Stork. He's lost more units. Where's his shuttle? Did he lose his shuttle at some point? I'm sorry, I keep like missing if he's losing units, but they're just like I'm losing track of him. But I don't know why. Basically, I'm saying I don't know why else Stork wouldn't have that shuttle there to pick up that Reaver. Stork's shuttle Reaver micro is immaculate, and it's something that could get him back in this game, basically, since he is at a disadvantage still. But I don't know where his shuttle went. He has to be building another one at this point because he really needs to be able to micro that shuttle. You can pick up the Reaver into the shuttle to dodge Scarabs, to dodge Dragoon shots, just to reposition so it's farther away. You can kind of force them to attack your shuttle, which soaks up hit points as well. Okay, so he's got the second Reaver out. The second Reaver being out is a little bit more important than the shuttle. When you're on a defensive position right there, you can kind of keep the Reavers in the back, and he's got them spread out so that... I'm going to have to sneeze in a second. Sorry about that. Insert joke about being allergic to mirror matches here or something. Alright, Stork has decided he's powerful enough to push out onto the map. I wonder if that means that he has a shuttle, because I can't imagine him pushing out like this unless he had those Reavers to accompany. No, he doesn't have a shuttle. He's just crawling those Reavers slowly down the ramp, trying to take position at the bottom of the ramp, and this could be catastrophic again. If he doesn't have a shuttle, he's going to be vulnerable. Reavers popping out for any time. He's going to get some good Scarab shots onto the Zealots. The Zealots are not really a big deal at this point. Can Stork's Reavers land their Scarabs? Oh no, the Scarabs land! He doesn't have a shuttle. If he just had a shuttle, he picks up those Reavers, and the shuttle's there. It's behind, not doing anything. Stork, what are you doing? Stork had a chance to get back in this game, and instead just has his shuttle hanging out back at his base instead of with his Reavers. The Reavers go down, and he's just... The shuttle's like committing seppuku and humiliation here because it had one job, which was to save those Reavers. It had like 10 seconds where those Scarabs were just chilling there, not activating, and it wasn't nearby to do its job. The Reavers went down, and with that, any chance of Stork for defending this. And so there's the GG. There's the GG. And wow, Oz is going to go up 3-1. 3-1. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. We're going to go into game number 5, and basically what is going on? Anytime has taken his shirt off and is swinging the Lecaf flag around as he runs around the stage. This is crazy. Oh man. StarCraft players are notoriously subdued. That's why it's always a big deal when they do what's called a ceremony, when they do some sort of celebration or just any show of emotion or pride at the end of a match. And in an individual league, it's almost unheard of for them to do stuff like that. It's one of the reasons why Firebat Hero kind of became popular and got a bit of a reputation later on as a kind of a firebrand, because he would do ceremonies all the time and stuff like that. And but anyway, it's usually unheard of, but the Pro League Finals is usually a place where players, I feel like, open up a little bit more. It's kind of because it's a team aspect, and so maybe it's something about the fact that you're rooting for your team and supporting your team rather than yourself. Might make it more kind of approachable or more acceptable to do that. So, wow. So yeah, I'm gonna stop this second video here. We're gonna go into part 3, and part 3 is gonna be possibly one game if Oz takes it, and possibly 3 more games if we see a comeback here. I'm just gonna check real quick the next game, and the next game is going to be Firebat Hero versus Haya. Firebat Hero versus Haya. So if Samsung Con stays in it, we might see a Firebat Hero celebration, which you do not want to miss that. So I hope you stick around, and hopefully that happens. But either way, we'll see you in part 3 and see what the conclusion is of these Pro League Finals. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you very soon for next time.